Welcome students to the final video lesson from the lesson Kinetic Theory of Gases. Today we shall be discussing about mean free path and Avogadro's number. Let's begin today's lesson with understanding what is mean free path. Now we all know that a gas is a collection of a large number of molecules which are in continuous random motion. Now, what happens during their random motion? The molecules collide against one another. Between two collisions, a molecule moves along a straight line, and the distance covered between two successive collisions is called the free path of the molecule. Now, due to random nature of the motion of the gas molecules, the free paths of a molecule during the collisions are bound to be of different lengths and zigzag, as you can see in this picture. So hence we can say that the mean free path of a molecule is the average distance traveled by the molecule between two successive collisions and is measured as the mean of a large number of free paths. Now, how to get an idea regarding what could be the possible expression for mean free path? Refer to this figure. Consider that a molecule O undergoes collisions at points A, B, C, and so on, so that the free paths of the molecule are of lengths lambda 1, lambda 2, lambda 3, and so on respectively. Then mean free path of the molecule will be given by lambda bar equal to lambda 1 plus lambda 2 plus lambda 3 and so on, divided by the total number of collisions. Now let us try to derive a comprehensive expression for mean free path. Now, in order to derive the expression for mean free path of a gas molecule, we make some assumptions. So, number one, a gas molecule is perfectly spherical in shape, and second, all the gas molecules of the gas except the one under consideration are at rest. So these are the two assumptions. A gas molecule is perfectly spherical in shape, and all the gas molecules of the gas except the one that is being considered for calculation of mean free path, all the other gas molecules are at rest. Now consider this diagram. Let us consider a sample of gas which contains n molecules per unit volume of the gas. Let d be the diameter of each gas molecule. Further, consider a molecule O moving with the velocity v. The molecule O in motion will strike with all those molecules whose centers lie within a distance d from its path. So obviously all such molecules with which the molecule O will strike in time t lie inside a cylinder of length Vt and area of cross section pi d square, as you can see right now in this figure. So number of collisions suffered by the molecule O in time t, if we denote it with n, the n will be equal to volume of cylinder of length Vt and area of cross section pi d square multiplied with number of molecules per unit volume. So this will be equal to pi d square Vt multiplied by n. So this is capital N. So now mean free path of a gas molecule, that is lambda bar is equal to distance covered by the molecule in time t divided by number of collisions suffered in time t. Therefore, lambda bar will be equal to Vt divided by pi d square n Vt. So obviously we can cancel out Vt. So that gives us lambda bar equal to 1 by pi d square n. Now, the expression for mean free path has been obtained by assuming that all the gas molecules except the one under consideration are at rest. But in fact, all the gas molecules are in random motion. Their velocities being governed by Maxwell's law of distribution of velocities. So, on taking the motion of all the gas molecules into consideration, the mean free path comes out to be lambda bar equal to 1 by root over 2 times pi d square n. If m is the mass of each gas molecule, then density of the gas rho is equal to mn, or n is equal to rho by m. So now substituting for n in this expression, what shall we get? We will get lambda bar equal to m divided by root over 2 pi d square rho. So this is the expression for mean free path. So what are the conclusions that we can draw from the expression for mean free path? It follows that mean free path of a gas molecule is directly proportional to the mass of the gas molecule. It is inversely proportional to the density of the gas, and it is inversely proportional to square of the molecule diameter. Once again I repeat, the mean free path of a gas molecule is directly proportional to mass of the gas molecule. It is inversely proportional to density of the gas, and it is inversely proportional to square of the molecule diameter. Now it can be easily proved that mean free path varies directly as the temperature and inversely as the pressure of the gas. Avogadro's number. The number of atoms in 12 gram of carbon 12 is called Avogadro's number. It is denoted by n. Now its value has been derived or determined very precisely in a number of ways, and the most accepted value of Avogadro's number is 6.02 into 10 to the power 23. So Avogadro's number gives another method to define 1 mole of a substance. A mole of a substance is the mass of the substance that contains molecules equal to Avogadro's number. This number is called Avogadro's constant. It implies that 6.0225 into 10 to the power 23 molecules of carbon and oxygen will weigh 12 grams and 32 grams respectively. Further, the amount of an element or a substance is expressed as mole of atoms of the element or mole of molecules of the substance. For example, statement that 1 mole of hydrogen does not convey any meaning. Either we would say that 1 mole of hydrogen atoms, which will contain 6.0225 into 10 to the power 23 atoms, or 1 mole of hydrogen molecules, that is, it will contain 6.0225 into 10 to the power 23 molecules, or 2 into 6 into 6.0225 into 10 to the power 23 atoms, as the hydrogen molecules are diatomic. So Avogadro's number or Avogadro's constant, as we may refer to it, is equal to this value, and it has been very appropriately shown in this picture. So this will be all regarding the discussion from the topic of kinetic theory of gases. Thank you.